Khôi, or with my alliance, Rio. So, and I'm from class intermediate 2 on campus. So now, let's jump in. So now let's look at the context first. I have made five parts for you guys to analyze and know about changemakers. So first is the introductions, later changemakers in both technologies and politics, their reputations, and finally the summary. So now, let's look at the introductions. Who are the changemakers, you may ask? Well, by definition, changemakers are people who have their reputations recognized or have been known by the world for their changes, both in technology, politics, society, and everything else. Many of the examples that we might have heard of might be Mary Anning, in science, J.K. Rowling in literature, and finally Martin Luther King Jr. in politics and society. And now let's jump into the next chapter. Before we continue to the next chapter, I have a quote for you guys to know from Martin Luther King Jr. Our lives begin to end the day we became silent about the things that is bad. So now, let's look at the changemakers in science and technology. I have personally took 4 examples who are my favorites. And there is this one person that you guys might have heard of in history classes or in literature classes or any other classes in Vietnamese program. And that is Mr. Văn Ngữ. Look at this handsome man, he's so handsome. So now, who is Mr. Văn Ngữ? Văn Ngữ is a father of Vietnamese medicine, and he is the person who has founded the cure for Vietnamese tropical malaria during the Vietnam War. And every time when you guys are sick, who here have malaria already? Please raise your hands if you have malaria once in your life. There may be some of you that have malaria in your life, and the medicines that you guys have taken when you have malaria is the reputation from Mr. Văn Ngữ. And yeah, you guys should thank him. So now let's look at the changemakers in politics and society. Same thing, 4 people I personally took. But there's this one infamous people who is also Vietnamese and is appreciated all over the world, which is Mr. Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh is a Vietnamese revolutionary leader and the first chairman of Vietnam after the French have left Vietnam in 1945. And he had led a campaign of Vietnamese people to find their path to freedom. And you guys should appreciate it like in the entire life. Even though if you guys are not Vietnamese, maybe you guys are Vietnamese, you guys are mixed, or you guys are just a native foreigner, you guys should appreciate it because of that. He also changed our view in politics. Okay, so now for the reputations. In science and technology, in politics and society, you guys may have heard of me saying already. In science and technology, the reputations in science and technology have been shaping up our world for more than 100 years or on. And we really applied, like Isaac Newton with physics and Michael Faraday in chemistry and also physics. They also proved the impossible that we once thought it really is. In politics and society, they changed our views in our world. And in politics and other topics, you guys can be in it. So now for the summary, I'll just skip it. And thank you for listening.
Hi, Khôi.
Hi.
Thank you very much for your speech. It was excellent. I'm inspired. Thank you. I want to be a change maker. Help me decide, should I follow a change maker or should I try and become one myself? I want to make the biggest change. Help me decide, please.
Well, it depends on your point of view. If you want to follow a famous change maker, like for example, Mary Anning, for example, when in science, well, you can follow her to make her as your idol, your inspiration. But if you guys want to make it on your own, that is fine. You guys can find your own way, your own path to make a change for society, for the world, and for everyone else. And yeah, that is my answer.
Round 2.
So I'm back on the stage with a new topic today, which is the benefits of daydreaming. So when it comes to studying, you guys may have been daydreaming a lot or may have daydreamed once. It is annoying, I can agree, because the teacher always just wakes us up in the middle of the session and just yell at us or just do anything to us because of that. But there is a benefit. Well, there are benefits that we might not know. It actually kind of helps us in our studying and in our life. So daydreaming can improve our mindset both in creativity and in the ideas. Well, what do I mean exactly? Well, for ideas, for example, in literature class, art class, music class, etc., you guys can daydream to find creative way or new ideas to try and improve your singing, your drawing, and your language, both in Vietnamese and both in English. And there's also one thing that I personally daydream and it actually benefits me, which is it kind of lowered my stress level down because every time when I'm stressed, I'm always focused. And when I'm focused, I stress more. And when I stress more, I can easily fail. I cannot succeed my goal. I cannot succeed my project or anything else. Well, and what I mean is that daydreaming can actually help me lower my stress level to make me feel calmer or to make me think of anything else which is happy, which is successful, so that I can get motivated. I can actually finish my project, finish my studying, and basically do everything else with success. And well, if you guys don't believe me, you guys can try. But please just don't try for too much because if you try for too much, you're going to fail eventually. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
So, you mentioned that you daydream. How often do you daydream? Where are you most likely?
Well, for me, I often daydream at home because most of the time when I'm at home, I will be very stressed because I have a lot of other off-topic stuff besides school work, like for example chores and other kind of works and clubs and more. So I often daydream to make myself feel lost, make myself not stress anymore about all the other things that I am thinking right now. One of my most remembered time that I actually daydream a lot is when I have a math class which I have Saturday and Sunday, and when the teacher got home, I am absolutely stressed. I am absolutely stressed, like beyond the average level. I collapsed down on the table. And when I was collapsing on the table, I think maybe I should try daydreaming. It should work. So I daydream for around 15 minutes and finally I forget all the stress and I continue on working on math work for Sunday. And yeah, that's it. That's my answer.